Yeah, one of the things that I love to do now, and I shared this with Chris at the conference, is that, and then we actually just did a product and services show, and they're new age product and services shows, right? So we go in there and, of course they want to know what's different about us, right? Because they're spiritual people, right? Mm-hmm. They understand this stuff, whereas the church doesn't understand what I'm doing with all these bowls and gongs and, and frequency stuff. They think that I'm like, really way out there, and I am. But
I used to be totally afraid of y'all. Totally afraid. I thought everybody that acted, sounded, and did what you do was a freak of nature. Seriously. Yeah. I could not fathom. I didn't have a space for it. Yeah. And the way I was even intentionally raised. Like, I don't think anybody was like, those guys are evil. They just thought of you as evil. You're dabbling in something dangerous.
Exactly.
And that's evil, the appearance of evil. And I think the 70s and 80s cult scare, wigged out the entire church groups that I grew up in. Because like everything was the cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a demon under every rock, right? I mean, that's religion. That's putting Jesus in a box.
Yeah, we can only see the ones outside of our midst. The ones inside of our midst are still like stealth level 100. We don't see them. I don't see even my own. So I mean, I'm working through that too. I can't be.
Ding 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 ding. There it is. My brother just was going to gloss on over it, folks. It's the corruption that exists in everybody. And so, let's talk about what's going on the inside of everybody. And let's start there instead of having an outward conversation. Let's begin to ascend above the sun, which is getting that elevate your critical thinking. Imagine the things that are unimaginable. And we get the beauty of looking back and seeing all the corruption, the systemic corruption. So how is your religion, every religion, been doing so far? Let's talk about that. And I wonder how many people just got triggered. Probably nobody, because nobody's watching.
Oh, they will. They will.
They're coming.
It's not arrogance, it's confidence.
It's just awareness, self-awareness, being awareness of who you are, where you are, the good, the bad, the ugly. You can see it in other people. But until you've cleaned up your own closet where it's pretty clean and pretty visible to the unseen realm, and and everything you say and do is being looked at, and you're okay. You're in grace and mercy and justice and judgment, which is the love of God, I think, right? Four faces? Yeah. Justice, judgment, grace, and mercy. And they all commingle and entangle, and they're all working together at the same time. So I was reading a book, and I love learning, and I like saying that I don't know anything, and we're ignorant about a lot of things. And the beauty of that is you get a hall pass to go, and if you don't want to be ignorant, which is not out of that you're stupid, it's that you don't know some things. So just having a voracious appetite to want to learn more spiritual things, and oftentimes there are books you can read down here, and people have a voracious appetite for different types of books, different types of stuff. And anyhow, sometimes somebody will show up a book, and Berlin has been known to do that. And I'm like, oh, I got to write that down. And you get all these books. And anyhow, so I am still in the middle of reading a book called Nano. Don't know how I found out about it. Anyhow, after a chapter, I began to realize that this thing is, the perception that's coming from Kabbalah. And so because I don't have any formed opinion, I haven't done the research, I haven't listened to any type of a teaching of stay away from it, here's the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I'm confident in who I am and my capability of discerning truths, untruths. Dad has entrusted me to give me the capacity to read anything and look at anything and just make a judgment call. So anyhow, what's interesting about this book that's leading me to a question to you guys is, so putting Kabbalah aside, although anybody can just get me up to speed if they wanted to, but what's really interesting is the author of the book used an illustration that I thought was beautiful, tied into the quantum. And so I want to just see if I can just get this out of my brain here and just riff off of it. So imagine, we've got, 50 trillion cells in our body, 150,000 proteins. So we're protein. We go down to the molecular level. Let's go down to the atomic level. Let's go down to the subatomic. And we're energy and particles and electrons. And so my whole life, I've heard these terms of free radicals and antioxidants. All right, well, that's got a lot of antioxidants in it, so I'm gonna take that. Hey, watch out for those free radicals. I would venture to say, because this guy included, I got no clue what a free radical is. What, right? So anyhow, so the illustration is this. You got an atom, and whatever, deliberately, undeliberately, whatever the deal is, the atom loses because usually electrons like to hang out. Isn't that interesting? So an electron wants to typically hang out with another electron, kind of like that synergistic stuff. Oh, I don't want to get sidetracked. So anyhow, so sometimes you get an electron that like goes away and the atom starts freaking out. So what the atom does, it goes, finds another atom and says, hey, I need your electron. Listen, I got the gun right here. Give me all your electrons. So the atom goes out and it's looking for other atoms to steal their electrons. And so those are the free radicals. So just bear with me for a second. But then you get the antioxidants. You get those atoms that are like, hey, how you guys doing? Hey, listen, I just picked electrons off of my electron tree. Anybody need any electrons? So it has this giving, at the atomic level, there's this giving of, hey, anybody need an extra electron? And you get the jabron over here that's like robbing electron atoms and beating them to a pulp to take their electron. Well, guys, help me understand this. If we're vibrating and we're frequency and we're energy, and free radicals and antioxidants and how they function in that way, how does that tie into being sons and spiritual and controlling? Because it seems for me, what I'm getting out of it is it's making me realize that I control my reality in terms of the thoughts that I'm thinking and the frequency that I'm receiving, the frequency that I'm sending, the energy, what type of electrons. Am I vomiting free radicals or am I breathing antioxidants? Am I receiving that? So I'm just tossing that out there. But I thought, and again, coming from that Kabbalah perspective, but to me, there was something that resonated with me when that author used the illustration of free radicals and antioxidants at the atomic level. So there you go.
Good. So what was the question there, Chris, or did you answer it yourself?
He's throwing it out. He was just throwing it out at us to see what we thought, I guess.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Rhetorical question.
So, I mean, because it came out of Adrian, where you're, going into close quarters with New Agers. Oh, okay. Well.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Okay. So talking about free radicals and antioxidants at the subatomic level is kind of pretty New Agey to me. So you know what? And guess what? I love it and don't care because I mean it's science now. That's the beauty of where science is meeting the mystical or the spiritual, and they're gonna be commingled, and you're gonna have, obviously, as we move forward, we're already right out of our minds, but we're gonna go higher, and that's okay, and it's all good. And there are some that are gonna tag along, and there's probably many more that may not. But our deal is to be real and authentic with the revelation and the relationship that we're developing with each other as we continue to go deep in our relationship on the inside with the whole kingdom, right? The kingdom of God on the inside, the kingdom realms on the outside, and all of that good stuff, right? So it's all good, but I just see the challenges on the earth in and around energy food and weather and all of these things that are just kind of going on. And I think it's just it's tied to the unseen realm. It's all being expressed, and I think we need to take a fresh look at who we are. It's who we really are as sons, and the power that we really have of transfiguring ourselves, and what, as we go through that process, what that is doing to those that are coming in contact with us from an electromagnetic field perspective. And I think we're displaying antioxidants like nobody's business. And
well, it simplifies humanity, if you think about it, because you can have free radicals or antioxidants in any religion. It supersedes this concept of this religion versus this religion, and moves it to a humanity-based concept. And it actually helps, for me, it helps get my head pulled out of the four-wall concept of the church, us and them, and realize that we're all created in the image of Yahweh. And it's either you choose to use it according to the divinity that he has created it to be, or you choose to use it in a beast format, in a brutish way, in a corruptive way. And it's your choice as your sovereign being, how do you want to be? You want to be a free radical, or you want to be an antioxidant type being? And that really brings it down to a fundamental level of a relational dynamic with your Father, how you want to use your sovereignty in the earth as a human being created in the image of the Creator. And it doesn't matter what religion you call yourself, what you're part of, at the base level, that is where the question sits. And the answer is your life. Your life, it becomes the answer to that question.
All right, so I was looking up, the free radical and antioxidant, and this is a definition. This is: antioxidants neutralize free radicals by giving up some of their own electrons. In making this sacrifice, they act as a natural off switch for the free radicals. This helps break a chain reaction that can affect other molecules in the cell and other cells in the body. That is really what we're doing when we're going out, and we're like, when I go to these New Age conferences.
yes,
Definitely.
yes.
Because people want to know what it is that's in us. It's not me, it's the Christ in me, right? And
Right.
you're able to talk to these people, because that is so good. I was like, when you started doing it, I was like, where's it going with this? But it's like, it's just exactly what we're doing. Exactly.
But anyhow, I just think it ties into what you're doing. I think it ties into P48 and QRST, that quantum relational synergistic trading, the exchange of value. You're an atom with those electrons. Hey, here's what I have. What do you need? Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, I've got an abundance of this over here, and there's just this focus on loving thy neighbor, I guess, if you will, right? And it's happening in a pure sense. And to me, I think it's just tying into what Dad is most importantly looking for is unity. And it's obviously certainly needed more